Hello everybody, BFViking here, and today is Monday, which means it's time for another episode of Battlefield Hsotry Loadouts. So for today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the army that probably did the most fighting during the war, which was the British Army, and these guys were among the first to enter the Great War. The main reason they entered the Great War was because Germany had control of Belgium, and Belgium is very close to England, plus Germany had just attacked France hours later, so Britain then declared war on Germany. Between 1914 and 1918, Britain mobilized more than 6 million troops, over 700,000 were killed and 2 million were wounded, so Britain had the fourth largest amount of deaths in the Great War. The most famous battle the British fought at was the Battle of the Somme, which took place on the 1st of July 1916 to the 17th of July 1916. The first day of the Somme saw Germany a serious defeat as they were pushed out of their positions by the French, but it was also one of the worst battles for the British as they lost over 57,000 men in the first attack, and this went down as the worst day ever for the British Army. But they had pushed the German forces back 10 miles, so I guess there was some sort of silver lining. Another famous battle the British fought in was the 1918 Spring Offensive, which we get to play in a Battlefield 1 operation known as the Kaiserschlacht, and this was Germany's attempt of putting the British forces back and gaining land and supplies on the Allies. While they kind of did succeed due to the elite stormtroopers, but the normal forces could not keep up with their advance. Now they did take back quite a bit of territory, but it was only taken back when 2 million American troops arrived in France. At that point, Germany's army was enduring extremely heavy casualties, and the newly gained lands had been lost to the British and the Allies. So the British did do quite a lot of work for the Allies in the First World War, but it did come at a very heavy price. There are countless movies based on these battles, and I would highly recommend checking some of these out. So now for the in-game loadout, which will be a pretty basic loadout for the most part. The rifle will be the Smle Mark III Infantry, and something very interesting about these rifles is that it only cost £7 to make at the time for the British government to make, so these things were put into mass production very quickly. Another cool fact about the Smle is that this thing could be fired extremely quickly. When the Germans would be within 20 meters of a British trench, the British would fire these things as quick as they could, fooling the Germans into thinking that they were all equipped with heavy machine guns, scaring them back into their trenches. For the secondary, there is a bit of a problem, as for the Scout class, there is no British pistols for the Scout class, so I suppose we're just going to use the Smle 1903, as this is a Belgian gun, but the British did fight quite a lot in Belgium, so I suppose that's our only option there. Gadget 1 will be the spotting flare, and Gadget 2 will be the trench periscope, so we can outline enemies from far away. For the grenade, we'll be using the frag, and the knife will be the trench knife. This loadout does work extremely well at mid-range because you can spot enemies with both of your gadgets, and the Smle sights are good for close to medium range, and you can also be very effective with that Smle 1903 as it has a nice rate of fire and a pretty good damage up close. The Smle does have an insane rate of fire, so stick to close and medium ranges, and you will dish out a lot of damage to the enemy team. Well guys, that just about wraps it up for this episode of Battlefield Hsotry Loadouts. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Battlefield video.
Excited! Tank over there! Do you see him? Shock trooper! Tank! Over there, an enemy tank. Grenade going out! Watch it, there's a scout. Anti-aircraft guns, right there!